why do you hate yourself? Like, why is it that you are your own biggest enemy? Why is it your own biggest critic? Why is it that you are more critical about you than anything else, and anyone else would be for you, that you would be even towards anyone else? We are harder on us than we are on other people. Now, I'm not saying that you don't care about you, that you don't have standards, you don't have expectations of yourself, because that's important and that's true. But you hate yourself even more than you would other people. And this is not completely your fault. It's actually how your brain has been wired, and we have to learn how to rewire it. Studies actually show that 75 to 80% of your thoughts are negative. The average person has anywhere from 12,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And 80% of those are negative. And the same study says that 95% of the thoughts are typically things that are just repeated. So they're the same thing being repeated over and over again. So our brain, what it does is that it's conditioned to just be negative, to just think the worst part of us, to think the worst version. And you are the person that spends the most time with you. Like, you are in your mind, in your day, longer than anyone else is around you. So imagine how powerful and impactful that is for you. Like, you repeat these things over and over again. You are the one that is there. You're the one that either speaks life into yourself or speaks death into yourself. The reason that a lot of people fall into this rut are twofold. One, because again, you know that you're capable of so much more. You're capable of getting up, and you're capable of being better. You're capable of succeeding. You're capable of all these things that you believe that you can do, and you absolutely are. You wouldn't be rough on yourself. You wouldn't be so critical about yourself if you didn't know that you were capable. The problem isn't that you don't know that you're not capable. The problem is that you forget that you're a person, that even in your effort and time that you're going to mess up and you're going to be flawed and you're going to fall short. And these are all things that are normal. The people who are most joyful in this world, the people who are most successful, are not the people that don't believe that they're going to make mistakes, are the people that know that they are not their mistakes, despite those things, that they're not the things that they've said or done, that they're not their past, they're not what people have told them they are, that they're not those things. They are the decisions that they make next. Yes, you are capable of all these things. But if you want to be happy, if you want to be joyful, you want to be successful, it's not just not making mistakes. It's learning how to make mistakes and not letting those mistakes become you. Not letting them take control over everything else. Learning to be able to create this truth about you that isn't depicted on that. Our second fold is this life that we've lived in, this belief that we're not good at all. Like, you're not even just, you're capable of these things. You just genuinely don't believe that you're good. And you are. You are so good. And there's so much potential in you. And I don't need to know you personally to know that there's something that was given to you. I don't need to know your life story to tell you that there's something amazing in you. But unfortunately, for a lot of people, we've been conditioned to believe the worst version of us. We've believed what has been said or done, or we've stated these things. So how do you change this? How do you change those thoughts from these negative and constantly repeated thoughts? Because, again, that same study, it's the things that you could expect. It's self-doubt, it's hate, it's anxiety, it's these things that we repeat over and over again. These are thoughts that we're constantly living in. The way we stop these things is almost easy, but yet really hard, is every time you think negatively, you replace that with two positive thoughts. So if there's something that you're struggling with, if you feel shameful, right? You feel bad about yourself, you feel down in your dumps, you challenge that thought, and then you actually say two things that you're grateful for, two things that you can change. Why? There's actual studies behind this. The biggest portion of it is that you're teaching your brain to not accept those things, and rewires your brain, like literally. It changes how the neural pathways in your brain to accept certain things and reject other things. But also that the part of your brain that produces gratitude, or the part of your brain that celebrates, is the same part of your brain that would be anxious. So when you are more focused on the things that you're grateful for, you deactivate the power that the anxiety has. You deactivate the part of your brain that is in this loop of all these negative thoughts. If we were able to look at our lives, so the things that we're grateful for, not the things that we're going through, we will see more grace than anything else. We will see how good things can be, how good things are. But we are so focused on selling ourselves short that we don't allow ourselves to ever live in the goodness. We don't look at life through gratitude. That whole saying, gratitude affects your attitude, right? You change your life when you're able to see the good in things. When you are looking for good, you will find good. But if you are only looking for bad, I guarantee that's all you'll see. if you're only focused on how terrible things are and how horrible the world is and all these things, listen, that's all your brain is going to consume. You have taught yourself to live in anxiousness than it is to live in hope, to live in prosperity, to live in growth, to live in anything good. You have taught yourself that you should like you less than you should expect anything good from you. You've taught yourself, you taught your brain that you are not worth the things of this world. That the only thing that you're going to deal with is the shame and the fear and the doubt. And it's sad because so many people are made for such amazing things in this world. All of us are made for something amazing in this world, but we have become a byproduct to our fear and not the reality of our hope. We don't think that the future is for us. We don't think that we're deserving of something. I made this post on my social media and I said, I challenge you, and if you're listening to this, if you've gotten this far, I'm challenging you to just the next couple of weeks look at your life through the lens of expectance. Like, you are expecting things to be good. You are expecting things to flourish. And even when things don't seem right or good, you are expecting an outcome after that to be good, because it's going to build something there. It's knowing that I deserve and I will act and I will do in efforts to get. That I know that I'm capable of these things. And I'm not going to let the lie of my mind that 80% of those thoughts that are negative to dictate everything else. You can change your entire life simply by changing how you think. Like, the process of it. And I'm not saying it's easy. I promise you it's hard. There's a lot of things that I myself am still obviously working on that I believe that I will change. I'm going to change. It's inevitable because I made the choice and I'm sticking to it. But we will never change anything that we've become comfortable with. You will never make something different when you become comfortable in your suffering and in your pain. There are people that are in burning buildings and they've tried to convince the world this is good because it's easier to stay in there than it is to run out. You have to learn to dictate your thoughts and not allow your thoughts to dictate you. Not allow them to control what steps you take in your life and where you go next. And again, I know for some of us it sounds like we're just beating a dead horse and it's just repeating words that you've already heard and things that people already said. But I want you to ask yourself this question: how long have you even tried? Like, can you actively say that you locked in for 3 months or 4 months or 6 months or a year, that you were consistently pushing and believing that this thing was going to happen, or after the first month it didn't go your way, so you quit? Of course it didn't happen because you stopped before you got there. This is the difference between people who live amazing lives and people who are miserable in their life. It's because they believe into the point of delusion that it's going to happen. And they live in such a way that it's going to happen. They believe and dream and think in such a way that it's going to happen. So it's inevitable that this thing is going to happen because they are showing up for it as if it already exists. You can't sit here and say that you've done nothing and are mad that you've gotten nothing. You can't sit here and say that you gave it a couple of weeks and nothing changed. Listen, it's going to take more than a couple of weeks. It's going to take until it takes. And for some people, that might be a few months, might be a year or two. But do you believe in you enough to know that you are not going to stop and settle at the first hardship? When it doesn't click, when it doesn't happen, do you show up? When life isn't perfect, when people don't support you, when people don't like you, do you show up? When things are just not the way that you thought that they were going to be, the question isn't, is it going to happen? The question is, are you going to show up to make it happen? Because if you're not showing up, then you are guaranteeing that it doesn't happen. If you are not productive in the thing that you believe that you deserve, then you're guaranteeing that you never receive it. Your mind is so powerful. It will dictate everything else. But the question is, do you believe that? And if you believe that, are you doing everything you need to do to change that?